13 Stories is the first novel written by award-winning The Magnus Archives podcaster, Jonathan Sims. Mixed with horror, thriller and paranormal, this is a delightfully dark twisted story where you will go into a spooky house quite like no other. 13 Stories highlights 13 stories from individuals who all either live or work in Banyan Court, a 13-story high-rise apartment block and residential development in London. Every one of the initial 12 stories centers around a distinctive individual and their encounters inside Banyan Court and finishes with that individual getting an invitation to an evening gathering that is being facilitated by Tobias Fell, the reclusive billionaire and modeler who planned Banyan Court, who is hidden away from the world and unseen by people for years, lives in the penthouse. The 13th and last story brings all the collected players together as the picked of Banyan Court show up for the decisive evening gathering that saw Tobias Fell killed in grisly style. Each story is charming, however they differ in quality. The first, about Violet, who works night shifts, is acceptable, however not noteworthy. It's a readable, workmanlike story of modern life and its brutalities, portraying an exhausted lady battling to remain above water and awake. At the point when I arrived at the second, Jesus, a rich and arrogant art dealer, however, I realized I was getting into something great. This story blends ekphrasis, which is one of my #1 literary gadgets regardless of context, with horror. It's a triumphant mix, and the outcome is charming. The fourth story includes a young girl and her imaginary friend, and contains a couple of lines that are more blood-curdlingly unpleasant than anything I've perused for the current year. The 10th is another highlight, focused on a mismatched pair of security guards. It flaunts a blinding turn. Like many other readers, I was at first keen on this on account of the Magnus Archives. I am amazingly choosy when it comes to listening podcast, and Sims has probably written some of the best scenes I have ever heard. The best delights of 13 stories are unquestionably to be found in the individual stories, which make each character fascinating and each distinct haunting remarkable.